I appreciate the taste, the flavour, and the feel-good feeling of eating dark chocolate.
And are you eating less chocolate
Yes,
or more
I am.
chocolate?
Yes,
eating
I am.
less. Okay,
and
so
I've got a bar in my handbag all the time.
Right.
So yeah, when I want to pick me up, I'll have a piece of.
So you're a chocolate addict, really?
It's a moment of truth. Willie's new recipe versus 2 other top-quality 70% bars. If the chocoholics don't approve, it'll be a major setback.
So basically, I've got 3 chocolates, which I want you to taste one after the other. And I've got a plate here with a collection of different things that represent flavours. I've got floral, licorice, coffee, nutty, fruity, citrus, mushroomy, grassy, woody. These are all things that will come to mind when you try these 3 chocolates. So let's try number 1. If we'll all take a little... If we all can wait, and we'll all do it together. So you can do a little bit of smelling, perhaps. No licking. Okay. Pop it in there.
Not that sort of intense a flavour.
Not intense.
That was nice. I thought it tasted of cherries, actually.
Cherries.
Fruity.
Sorry?
Some sort of fruit.
That's not bad, that.
Oh, so I got from the 2 hardcores, fruity and not bad. Okay.
Slightly burnt, but no oomph.
No oomph.
No
okay,
oomph.
Interesting.
Doesn't really got much flavour.
Okay, so we'll start the opposite there, this way. Pop it in. A minute for it to melt. How are we doing on that one, Simon?
Straight away, that's a more intense.
More intense?
Well, it's just much better chocolate.
Much better chocolate?
It feels quite powdery in a way.
Bit powdery?
Not good.
Not good?
Like coffee.
Strong coffee? Espresso, perhaps?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really liked it. I thought it was quite fruity.
Quite fruity?
Almost lemony, but...
Lemony? Okay. Yeah. Number 3. Right.
Sort of vaguely citrusy something. I didn't expect it to quite taste how it does, actually.
I think it's yours.
Do you? Oh, that's interesting.
Familiar.
I thought that sort of tasted almost like a mix of dark and milk.
It does, yeah.
It's not so intense.
A trace of nuts.
Maybe a trace of nuts?
Yeah. I hope it's not yours, because the initial taste tasted just like, you know, when you walk into the dairy and the smell that the cows are being milked, that's how it tasted, cows.
Okay.
It was a nutty taste, but it really wasn't, it was just a bit wishy-washy, really.
3 plates, 3 chocolates. Hands up for number 1 for the best. Got 2 people. Hands up for number 2. Oh, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, hands up for number 3. 1. Okay. Right, okay. Well, I've got to say, I'm number 2. Yeah, but I was really neutral. Listen, these 2 chocolates are 2 of the best chocolates you can buy. I've made some of my little chocolate things for you. What was really interesting was there was a general feeling that this was the best chocolate on the table. And that, to me, says a lot, because as much as I feel I could tweak it and I can make it better, I'm on the right track. You can pass those around?
Yes.
The mass market chocolate does give you that initial boost, and obviously because of their marketing and things like that, you're more aware of it and more likely to pick it up on the shelves. But as a result of doing the tests and things like that, I'm personally looking for better quality chocolate that gives a better flavour and taste.
I think what's probably surprised us more than anything is the fact that we're eating dark chocolate, which we certainly weren't before. I was a staunch dairy milk supporter, and to think that I really like it now. I have tried milk chocolates, and it just tastes of fat and sugar. No real substance to it. So I'm afraid, as stubborn as I wanted to be, I've changed.
And when they all went, woohoo! 7 out of 10, I thought, wow! Only because I think what I stood my when I was there, it was very difficult to keep a straight face and not get too excited about it. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who want intense flavours, and certainly they pick that out of the hat. But if you want something punchy, flavourful, intense, my chocolate's the one. Good day.
With the factory up and running and the recipe nearly right, everything now depends on the beans he bought in Venezuela arriving safely. And just when all seems to be going according to plan... Willie's entire ambition to produce the best chocolate bar in the world crucially depends on acquiring the very finest beans. It's been 3 months since Willie made the 5,000-mile trip, and then the tough drive across country in Venezuela to source the perfect beans. It has cost him a fortune. It's been a long journey for Willie, and a long journey too for the precious cargo. But now another defining moment in Willie's adventure. It's the day when the beans are finally due to arrive at the factory in Tiverton.
It's just one of those mornings that everything's happening. I get into the factory, I've got some tanks that have arrived from a company, I've got my bean load arrived from Venezuela, and everybody's basically here at the same time. It's going to be one of those mental days.
Hey! Twist it.
Well, we now know what's been in there. It's got 25 tons of caronero. Basically, what's great about this is these are the beans that I went and inspected in Venezuela, a short time ago. So they liked the excitement. We had a look at them. We bought them. They were so good that I bought the double.
Beautiful. Fruity.
Smells lovely, man. They are all Caribe, so no separating. Look at that little baby, beautiful. Look, beautiful. Look at those beans.
That's my future. That is the future chocolate bar flavour. Fantastic.
Look at that, man. It's the biggest container I ever bought. The smell is incredible. You don't get any of the fresh air. You've just got chocolate air. I've got a feeling of elation that everything is good.
Let's go.
I'm just going to make some hot chocolate for the boys, basically. Because I tell you what, after moving 25 tons, they need a bit of power. So basically, I'm just going to grate it and put it into some hot water with a little bit of sugar. And, not only will they have a little tea break, but that will really fire them up. It was just, it's always great to unload them and, then for them to be good, that they've travelled well. It's always a worry. You never know, something might happen on the ship or, The key to making good chocolate has got to be the raw materials. You use good raw materials and you can make good chocolate. Yeah, it's another box ticked, and then on to the next.
But it wouldn't be a Willie adventure if things went according to plan. And just when it seems that everything is in place and he seems on the brink of realising his dream, comes a dawning realisation of disaster.
Yeah, nobody knows where the beans are. I can second guess. When the load first arrived, I was excited. My biggest load ever had just arrived. I tried a few beans, and, I got a couple of beans that I took, got a good flavour profile, but then, in retrospect afterwards, I remember tasting this taste and thought, that's not quite right, but don't worry, Will. Let's get the load unloaded. There was a bit of rain. Let's get it stored. And, when everything had quietened down, I opened some of the sacks and checked the numbers and basically found it was a different cacao. OK, thanks. Bye. Oh, dear.
Willie's entire plan is in ruins. The beans he has taken 24 hours to unload and store are not the ones he bought all those months ago in Venezuela. They're a different quality and a different flavour. Willie can't believe his bad luck. Inquiries across the Atlantic bring an explanation.
To turn my computer on to find an email from San Jose saying, yes, you know, there has been a huge error, and they had received a call from the other client to say they've got the wrong batch number 2. And from my understanding is that the beans were in Japan. So the chances of swapping the beans are highly unlikely. To be honest with you, I'm up against the wall for time like you wouldn't believe. But at least, you know, the 100 grand question has been answered. Yeah, it's a mistake. The biggest problem now is I need beans. I've got no space. I've got 100 grand's worth of beans and nowhere to put them. I don't want them. They're no good for me. And I need to get something else in quick to make chocolate with. I simply am now desperate, to be quite honest with you, you know, for a solution, you know. I've got so tired now that I probably should get some rest, you know, to regroup and think what to do. I need to get rid of these ASAP. First thing, out. So today, I simply don't know. Simply don't know.
It's not just a question of swapping the delivery, nor trying to find replacement beans. Swapping the delivery could take weeks, and beans of the quality and flavour Willie needs are in great demand and short supply.
That's why, you know, it is imperative I get the same beans. I've spent 6 months working on this chocolate project. I've got the flavour profile, I've sold the idea, I've sold the flavours, and now I need the same beans. And I turn around to the supermarket and go, actually, by the way, at the last minute, we're just about to change the beans. Now I'm going to give you another kind of chocolate. I mean, you know, what is that? That's wrong. I can't tell you the feeling when you have put that much energy, you've been round the world, you've travelled across the country, you've checked meticulously your cargo of beans, you've flown home, you've waited for it, it's arrived, and they're wrong. And all the factory you built, and all the money you put in, and every bit of effort suddenly is precariously on the edge, potentially, of some great cliff. You know, we're going to try and make it easier for everyone, you know. I mean, there's a massive amount of problems. We'll have to see. I simply don't know anymore.
Tomorrow night, with the credit crunch biting, Willie tries to bust his way into the most expensive end of the chocolate market. And just when it seems he's found a solution to the beans problem, things go from bad to worse.
And that's the concluding part of Willie's journey tomorrow night at 8 on 4. Next, a builder with a spending power to build a monster of a modern mansion. In this financial climate, should be interesting. In Grand Designs.